Hey everybody, it's Amy Graham, the Badass Valkyrie, and today Tyr and I would like to take you through how I am testing out color blocking in my weekly view of my Hobonichi cousin Avec. So I've started doing some color blocking for my schedule and it's worked out really, really well. So I have been testing that out and I'm going to show you how I've been doing that. So hopefully little monster here will try not to ruin everything. He is absolutely fascinated with the riveted bookmark, the 3-page bookmark. He goes crazy. He loves it. So he may yank it out here in a minute. Anyway, so this is the weekly view of the cousin Avec. And let me try to, yeah. He's so helpful, my kitten. So helpful. Anyway, I've tried to zoom in a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more so you can see this a little bit better. There we go. So this was the week of the 3rd through the 9th. And I started out just going through and marking off work because I'm like, you know, I do this I mean, this part of my work week is always the same, pretty much, except maybe different meetings that I have, but my lunch is usually at noon or 12:30, something like that. And so I wanted to just try to start testing it out. And I got back from Dragon Con on the 3rd, and then I was not feeling very well. And then I had FanX on the 7th, and then an SA event on the 8th, which is why there's nothing in there, because it's like basically sort of camping the whole week or whole day. So anyway, so this is where I started it. And so I just started blocking out my work week and the 8 hours that I'm at work from 8 to 5. Then I did, okay, well, let me just try blocking off my game time so I can just kind of see at a glance what I did on my game time. So that's where I blocked that there. And then I had me time. And so I'm trying to keep the colors all the same. So the next week, which was last week, I did a little bit more. So my me time is in the mornings when I wake up, anywhere between 5 and 6. And then I get ready at 6 o'clock. Then I have my commute from 7 to 8. And here I did the commute a little bit differently than you'll see in the next few pages. But I had done it in red, and I've actually changed that to pink. But then you still have the work week there. And then in green, I've put my, let me make sure you guys can see that. I put my training in green. And so when I'm doing different trainings. And some days, like here, I filled out the whole thing according to what I wanted it to be. And I tried to stick to it. But certain things happen. And I had a rest day here instead of actually doing that. And so then I had done this in blue because Greg time that I spend with my husband is in teal. But, excuse me. Sorry, I'm still a little with asthma and the smoke and trying to get over this cold. It's kind of, ugh. But I had, instead of doing my training on Thursdays and Fridays are kind of iffy on where I get my training in, how much I do that time frame, all of that. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Sunday, dead right on. I get that. So in this week, I did the green, and then I put this in blue. And what I meant to do was try to block this out in blue, and then it ended up not doing that. And here I have game time. Even though I didn't do game time on Sunday, I watched Handmaid's Tale with Greg, and then I did book updates. And when I talk about book updates are all my journals and my 3 planners, my cousin Avec, my weeks, and my pocket. So my everyday carries. I do them up for the week. So then this week is I'm doing it just a little bit at a time. And I block this out and I use colored pens. I use my Signo, my Uniball Signo DXs, and they're in the 0.38 nibs. And so, like on Monday, here I have, the me time or the me time is still marked out. So wake up. I wake up. I'm trying to wake up at between 5 and 5:15, not hitting the snooze button, trying to get back out of that habit because it's a habit that I've gotten into the last couple of weeks and I don't like it. I wake up, I do my miracle morning, and then I have my coffee, and then I get ready starting at 6. So from 5 to 6 is my miracle morning, and I journaled that in my Hobonichi A6 English planner, and I do the Savers checklist in my weekly supplement, and I'll post that again as well. I've done a video, and I'll put that video up here where I've gone through how I've done my miracle morning in my A6 Hobonichi and my weekly supplement. And the only thing that's changed with that since that video is that I am adding how I feel in the morning. Like if my back is sore, or if I'm more exhausted than normal, or if I have some sort of symptom that I want to track, like my hip is hurting, something that if I needed to go back and figure out when this started, I could. So anything that's wrong, even if it's mild, like if I have a mild tickle in my throat or my eyes are swollen or anything like that, it gets noted in that weekly supplement underneath my miracle morning. And then I journal in the A6. So back to this. So I have my miracle morning, my wake up, my coffee, and then I get ready at 6, and then at 7 I start my commute. So my commute is in pink, and because I typically hate pink and I hate commuting. So that's why I decided to put it in pink, because the red was too close. You couldn't tell a real difference between the red and the orange. And so I did it in pink. Then I've got my work week marked out, because that's not going to change unless I need to call in sick or something. So I have that here, and I haven't done today. So today I had a meeting, my lunch was at 1. I did Jersey Mike's for a sandwich, and then I did have my coffee break, which is fika. That is actually Swedish. It's a Swedish tradition for coffee, and it's a coffee break. You usually have coffee and something sweet, or like a cookie or something like that with your coffee break. And it's a big Swedish tradition, and it's something that I've kind of just adopted. And there's fika, there's lagom, and so the Swedes have a few traditions that I really, really enjoy. And so, yeah, maybe I'll do more on those two things in the future. But that's what that means, is a coffee break. And then we had a meeting at 10 with UMC about social media and all that. So I filled that out. Then on Wednesdays, hello, Tier. On Wednesdays, Tier evidently has something to say that he likes to do. So on Wednesdays, I do the Rebel Athena walk in the park with whomever wants to come and train with me. Tonight, I trained with Vidar, or Matt Foreman. He's training for his 4th Ironman, which is the weekend after my triathlon. So he comes and trains with me there. And then, obviously, it's me time here. And I actually meant to use a different color, but I decided after this that I needed to do the filming because I didn't get it done on Monday. And so oh my goodness, you are not helping at all, little kitten. Let me try to pull this out just a little bit more. There we go. And so that's why I left it in orange, but it's actually filming. And so I think I'm going to do a different color. I just am not sure what, probably like a lime green. So anyway, but here you can see, like, I did, I commuted home on Monday, and then I did training, which was a run with my Yorkie Saki. Then I did a 30-minute clean and Fear the Walking Dead with Greg. So that's in teal, that's Greg time. And then I did book updates, and so that's me time before I went to bed. On Tuesday, my goal, I put all the main primary goal up here of the thing that I need to get done the most, or I want to make sure it gets done that day, in here. And then in my daily, I have a list of things that get done here. So like today, I eventually need to edit my podcast, edit this film that I'm doing right now, record with color blocking, and I put the 19 before 2019, which I felt 9/19 was the day to do that. But I'm doing 19 goals before 2019, and so I'm trying to make my list. And so far, I've got these 3, but I'm hoping on Sunday to have my list, and then I'll update you guys on how I'm going to track that. But this is how I'm trying to color block. Now, I had game time last night with my friend Trent out of Boise, and then I did a 6-mile ride and 30-minute swim, and I also did 30-minute clean here when I got home. And so that basically consisted of taking out the trash and doing some laundry and all that. And then I had game time. And then this morning, the main thing that I needed to do was the Rebel Athena walk. Walk in the park and film. And so those are both getting done. And so, and then wake up, miracle morning, and my coffee, and then getting ready, commute, all of that. This portion of my world pretty much stays the same until at least 5:30. So throughout the weekday. My Saturday and Sundays can vary. Like Saturdays, normally by 9 o'clock, I'm at MPS, which is my little shop that I go to every week. I usually get up by 6:30 or 7. I try to sleep until 7:30, but the animals make sure that I don't. On occasion I can, but that's why I'm not marking in Saturday and Sunday. I'll just do those as they go. And then on Thursdays, like I said, they kind of fluctuate sometimes. And tomorrow I have a work event until 7. So I'm hosting a mixer from 5 to 7 for entrepreneurs and visiting executives from other colleges from the Pac-12. And so I'll mark that out. And then when I get home, I will be doing a short run with Saki again. And it's just a 2-mile run up to the end of my housing edition and back. It's 2 miles. And then I will try to get some game time in or edit my podcast. So we'll see what happens. And then up here I put, anything that I want to remember. Like it's this week started, there's 14 weeks left in the year. Just let that sink in for a minute. 14 weeks till the end of the year. I was hoping, because I was doing the 19 before 2019, I'm like, oh, it'd be awesome if it was like 19 weeks. And I'm like, oh, dang it, I'm 5 weeks short. So, what I'm going to do is mark in, because I'll want to do 20 goals before 2020. And so, in fact, I'm going to do that right now. There is, in the Hobonichi, turning the page, there's 19 before 2019, and this is where I'm going to write that out in here. But for future log, I want to figure out uh, 20 weeks before 2020 start 20 goals before 2020. So I will want to put that in my 2019 Hobonichi. And so on whatever week 32 is, which you can go back to here. And like I said, the dates will be off a little bit in 2018, but in August, at the beginning of August, will be the 32nd week of the year. And so that will leave 20 weeks before 2020, and that's when I'll start that goal setting. So this is how I do color blocking in my Hobonichi Weekly View. I have this blocked off down here, and this is where I put anything that I need to work on for Rebel Athenas or my paper and pour overs, which is my flipping, reselling, stationery side hustle. And so if I have something that I need to get done, like put up new sales or anything like that, I'll put that down here. And so I know it's separated and it's just extra stuff. But it helps me make sure that every day, because this is what stays open on my desk usually at work. And so it's open like this. And I did a no spend today. I did my 20-minute clean, and I did a run today, and I did not do Tai Chi or Qigong this morning. So this is where I track everything, and I've already got my water in for today. So I track my water there, my no spend there, my 20-minute clean, and I thought I marked that, but I guess I marked Tuesday. I did it yesterday too. My runs, my bike, my swim, my core training, my morning training, because here you can see in my weekly or my dailies, I keep track. I've got my morning, my miracle morning, which is, oh wait, that is not a good, hold on. That's not a good example. Okay. Why is that different? I changed it up. Oh, I changed it up in the quarter. So let's just find today. Here we go. All right. So I'll just mark these off. So my savers, which is my miracle morning, my silence, affirmation, visualization, and I did not do my exercise this morning because I ran out of time. My reading, I did get my reading in, and my scribing, and I have eaten. Now this is not full on eat clean. It's cleaner for me. So I'm trying to stay away from processed sugars and all of that. But I'm trying to eat much better and be much more focused on what I'm eating. And yes, I'll still have a cookie or a piece of cake or something like that. But, you know, I'm also working my ass off. So that's why it just says eat cleaner, not eat clean totally. My exercise for the evening was, yes. So I have exercise AM, and I usually write down what I did. Either it was Tai Chi or Qigong, and I usually alternate in the morning. And then mobilize and stretch, which I haven't done yet. I haven't entered my sleep yet, but I will before I go to bed. I've got my hydration in. I'll sit and do my reflection. Self-care, I was a no spend day, and so I note no spend there, but I also go up here and do no spend there so that it's easier for me to just count. And then I did not track my meals today. I will update the RTE this morning and my movement. So, and I have not put in the word of the day, but here I put my gratitude and my daily goal. I was writing, it's kind of wonkadoo because I was doing this while I was waiting for Matt to show up to run in the park, and so I was kind of like writing it all as I was sitting at my steering wheel in my car, and so it was just kind of off. But these are the 3 that I have so far for my 19 before 2019. I want to do 19 podcasts before the first of the year. I want to get those uploaded and done in iTunes, so I have at least 19 So that's more than one a week because I only have 14 weeks left in the year. So they are going to start coming, I promise. I actually have a full episode recorded reviewing my Our Sports Life a triathlon kit. And I actually even filmed that. So I'm going to hopefully get the podcast and the filming of that podcast. It's just me on my iPad, and it's kind of like when you have the facial view of me. But it's me wearing a headset, and so you get to watch it if you don't want to do a podcast. But I'll put that up in a separate playlist, so if you're not interested in hearing about my triathlon kits or anything or running or anything like that, then you don't have you're like, oh, that's that. That's something I'm not interested in. But I felt like, I'm in here doing my podcast anyway. Why not film it as well? So it's something I'm going to try. But so I want to do 19 podcasts before the end of the year. I also want to do 3 additional races by the end of the year. So my triathlon sprint is November 3rd. The following weekend, I have a donut dash, which is a 5K sponsored by Donut Shops, which is right up my line. So I'm like, sure, give us donuts as we run through the 5K. Hell yes, sign me up. And then I need to find one more race. And I know there's a turkey trots and things like that. And so I'm actually going to see if I can do a Thanksgiving run with my younger brother. He is a marathon runner. And so I'm going to see if he wants to do a run with me. By that time, I'll have been rested for the week. Because I'll take a week off from after my triathlon just to let my body recover. So by then I should be at least fine to do a 5K. And then one of the upcoming videos is me doing an update for you in my 101 goals in 1001 days. And so it's kind of like an end of the year update. And I want to get 3 of the 101 goals marked off for the year. And I have a number of them that I track in my bullet journal that should be done, because it's like, take a year and do word of the day, do a word of the day, write down a word of the day every day for a year. And as long as I keep going like I have, it will be that. So, I will come up with the rest of the 19. And once I get them fully thought out and what I want to do, and it helps me with the planning for my 2019 goals. And so I'm like, it just kind of fits in with that. And I have my, the goals that, have kind of fallen by the wayside, but I still have my quarterly momentum planner, sheets there. And I'll be doing that again for my 2019 goals. So, but this has helped tremendously, and I enjoy looking at it like this. And let me just show you what a typical week looked like before. So let's see if I can find one. So here's just a typical week in August, the 32nd week, as a matter of fact. And so this is just kind of how it looked like I was normally doing it. And I'd put an occasional sticker in, and I want to get back to doing that because I really think they're adorable. But, I had it blocked off at the top and at the bottom. And I still did that, and I tried, and I would always try to put my bedtime in and still do the side tracking for my tasks and such. But it still looks just busy, but not busy. And so I couldn't determine, unless I went through and read all of these, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is work and this is not work, or this is training. And so I'd actually have to read all the different things. Tear, you're killing me, dude. To see, here's run before walk, Rebel Athena, the book updates, film edits, all that kind of thing. So I have to read each item to see how it breaks down. Whereas here, this was all done during work. This was all training. This was time with Greg. This was my time. And so I also want to make sure that I have me time. September is self-care month, and hopefully you guys are all adding additional self-care in for you. That is what my Hobonichi Weeks is dedicated to, is self-care. And I will just give you a quick view of that, along with Tyr trying to eat everything. I want to get a manicure done this week. Game time I consider self-care, because it is my fun time. Having an unplugged evening, having a self-care date, whether that's with Greg or just by myself. Then I track my orders and shipments, and the 45-day challenge. On Monday, I realized I have 45 days until my triathlon. 45 days. That's it. Before on Halloween, I start my taper so that I rest my body. So from the 31st to the 3rd of November, 31st of October to the 3rd of November, I'm taking that off so I can do a taper and let my body relax, and I'm totally fresh for my triathlon. So 45 days. Let me just tell you, I freaking panicked. So that's my 45-day challenge is that I train every day for the next 45 days. And that is what this is about, the green. So there will be green every day. And so far it's kind of held. So tomorrow, even though I'll be working until, not 5, I'll be working until 7. As soon as I get home, Yorkie and I, my Yorkie and I will be going for a walk or jog. It's kind of in between because I'm still trying to leash train her. And she's really good, but she's got little tiny legs. But she's actually doing really well. And she's very chunky. So when your Yorkie is 8.5 pounds, yeah. She is a small framed Yorkie, and for the longest time she was 4.5 pounds. Well, for the longest time she was 3 pounds, and I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to breed her because she wasn't getting up to 4.5, and they suggest that Yorkies get up to 4.5 so that they don't have issues or complications with giving birth. Well, by the time she got up to 4.5, she was 6-7 years old, and I didn't feel comfortable breeding her at that point. So, but because she's not fixed and she has gone through the whole doggy menopause and all of that, she is chunked up. And so the last time I weighed her last week, she was 8.8 pounds. So she's down 2 pounds because she had gotten up to almost 10. And so she's slowly dropping, but I'm trying to take her out on long walks because we have a yard. And so it's not like we need to take her out and walk her every night. So she just goes out in the yard and then she comes back in. She's a house dog. She's not an outside dog. And so taking her out and getting her used to running with mama is a very new experience, but she's been leash trained, but not to run when mama runs. And so she's the first time we did it was great. She's gotten better every time. But now that she's more comfortable, she's trying to cross me, and I'm trying to train her that she's always on the inside. And so it takes a little bit of time to get her used to that. And so, but she'll pick it up, and she is 10 years old. And so, I want to make sure she's around as long as she can be. And when she started huffing and puffing, it was like, oh. And so we got lax. I will admit it. And you love your animals. And we would give her people food. And, it got, to a point where it's like, okay, now we're hurting her. So we need to not do that. And I'm exercising her regularly now and making sure that she's taken care of. So our vet's very comfortable with this. And so I'm like, okay. So tomorrow night when I get home, I will take her on a jog. Not full run. It never will be because she's got teeny tiny little legs. But she does really well with the sprints. So, and then Friday is date night, and I'm going to beg Greg to take me out for sushi. And the new movie, Clock in the Wall, or I think that's the name. It's with the new Jack Black movie. And so I'm very excited to see that. And then Saturday and Sunday, I will fill in as I go. So, because, after MPS, who knows what happens. And then I'll have my training on Sunday again, but I'll block it out when I go up. So, usually when my brother is up here, this is an off week. So he was here last week. My swim training starts at 8:30. When it's an off week, I actually do my swim last, and I do my run first and my bike and then my swim. So anyway, long story about, various things, tangents begot. This is how I am trying to do color blocking. And so this week on Sunday, I'll go in and I'll color block at least this portion of my week. Because like I said, this never changes. And so this part changes. And Saturday and Sunday change. So I'll go in and do that. But yeah, this is how I'm doing it. And I'm using the Mildliners for the outlining. And if you'll notice, I'm trying very hard to keep, like here, the line is on the inside here. So if I wanted to put another line and do something else on the inside line of Saturday, I can know that they're two different things. So here it's all, just pretty much even. But I'm trying to keep things separated, like the game time here. On this side it's orange, on that side it's black. So that it's just a little bit easier to differentiate. Let's see if you can see that. There's the orange, there's the black. So anyway, if you are color blocking in your planner, regardless of whether it's a Hobonichi or what, let me know how you do yours down below. And then also, if you're doing the 19 goals before 2019, let me know. I would love to have more ideas on goals that I can accomplish before the end of the year. So I've absolutely loved it in the past. And so last year I was very upset because I didn't get in on it until the 18 before 2018. I didn't hear about it until middle of December. And so when I heard Bohoberry talking about this, I'm like, oh my gosh. And that's what's in her Bohoberry box this month too, for October. I'm like, oh, I'm doing it. I am totally doing it. And now, because I've written that for 2020, I will start on the 20th week. And that way that'll give me 20 weeks to get 20 goals done by 2020. So if you have not guessed, I am very goal oriented. And that's just how I am. That's how I've gotten as far as I have. So all of you who, talk about how I have so much energy and all that, it's because I refuse to let myself fail. I hate it. And if I have goals, I will do everything in my power to try to reach them. And it helps me, because otherwise, if I don't have goals, like the 45-day challenge, the whole reason the 45-day challenge came about is because here I did a rest day, but then I took another rest day, and I just decided I'm tired, I'm too exhausted, and I admit I had pushed myself, and I didn't train. And so I'm like, no, this cannot happen. I cannot have 3 days in a row that I did not train. And I did train again on Saturday or on Sunday, and I did the full length of my triathlon, but these 3 days, I'm like, no, this cannot happen. Not this close to my triathlon. So that's why the 45-day challenge is in effect, and it started on Monday, and I actually don't think I put that in here. So it's like, sorry, I'm trying to write and get around the freaking cat while I can. Challenge begins. So that is how I reach goals, and how I'm color blocking my schedule in the weekly view. And so again, yeah, let me know what you're doing for the 19 before 2019. And if you use color blocking at all in any of your planners, I would love to know how you do it and how you have found that. I'm liking it so far. And if this is something that you want to try, let me know, because I will be interested to see how many people are going to try it with me. And then maybe I'll do a couple of update videos. So anyway, I hope you've had a wonderful week so far. And as always, spend your life celebrating, because there is nothing better on the planet than that. And that is exactly what that says. And I will talk to you again on Sunday. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later.